Hi, Jeffrey Wood here. In today's video, what we are going to do is install and set up a plugin called Better WP Security. So here I am. We're at the plugin screen. Click on Add New. Nice thing about knowing exactly what you're looking for is it's usually the first one to come up in the listings. Install now. Go ahead and activate it. Oops. Now, a lot of plugins, but not all, will allow you to go to the settings directly from the plugins page. It's kind of convenient I like it. Sometimes, they don't always put them in the same spots over here. Now, the first thing it's going to do is give you the option of creating a database backup, which we will do. It also gives you the option to skip that step, but I don't recommend it. This plugin will make several changes to your site, so unless it's a brand new site, make a backup. Okay, first thing you do is you come to the dashboard, and it offers you the ability to do a one-click protection where it'll go through and it'll make a lot of changes for you, or you can do everything yourself. We're going to go ahead and let it secure the site. Now this one has a bunch of color codes. As you can see, you've got orange, blue, green, red. Orange I can assume is kind of like a yellow, like a caution. Blue, not sure. Green I would assume is good, and red I would assume is dangerous. So you can tell by reading some of it what it is, but if you scroll down here, here's your legend. Green are fully secured items. Orange are partially secured, and you need to turn on more options to fully secure those. Items in red are not secured, and you should secure those. Now, the items in blue, they're not fully secured, but they may conflict with other themes, plugins, or the operation of your site. Secure them if you can, but don't worry if you can't. Then it gives you just some various information there. So what you do now is you go through and you set your options. These options here correlate with these tabs. So I'm going to go through a few of these. So you know what strong passwords are. They make it very difficult, more difficult for your site to be hacked and people's passwords to be guessed. But it can be tough for your users. Strong password tweaks. Now if you look, you've got all these others, and they're matching again with these. In fact, you see it took us over here to this tab. Enable strong password enforcement and strong password role for administrator. And you'll notice that it still has author, contributor, and subscriber. So if you change it to editor, then both the editor and the administrator have to have strong passwords, but not authors, contributors, or subscribers. If you go to contributor, then contributor, author, editor, and administrator. If you go to subscriber, it's everyone. So it says, I like this because it gives you warnings. If your site invites public registration, setting the role too low may annoy your members. That's okay, I have to have strong passwords almost everywhere I go. Oh, here's something I guess I should have pointed out. This page contains a number of tweaks that can significantly improve the security of your system. Server tweaks may use rewrite rules, and will write them to your HT access file in the case of Apache or Lightspeed. If you're using NGINX, you'll have to manually copy those rules on the dashboard and put them in your server configuration. That is beyond the scope of this video. Other tweaks make use of editing your HP config file, and some of the tweaks may in fact break other plugins and themes that make use of techniques that are often seen in practice as suspicious. That said, I highly recommend turning these on one by one, and don't worry if you cannot use them all. So anyway, we go back to the dashboard. Now see, it's green because it's for all users. Now had I changed it to one of the other ones, it would have been orange, I think. Yeah, orange. My WordPress header is still revealing some important information. Click here to fix. Removes WordPress generator meta tags. Now, meta tags have been around since, well, I'm not sure, since the beginning. In the old days, when people would do websites through HTML, they would put in information in the header that the user wouldn't see, and they were called metadata, kind of like metaphysics. And they would have a meta description, a meta keywords, and your, I want to say your meta title, but may not be correct on that one. Anyway, so for like your meta keywords, you would put the keywords that were related to your site, and the search engines would use that to determine if your site was a good match for what people were searching for. The problem is that people would stuff the meta information with stuff that had absolutely nothing to do with their site in order to gain traffic and probably money. So really, Google at least does not use the metadata at all. Your general rule of thumb is it's better to include it because it doesn't hurt anything. However, what these guys are saying is they want to remove it. And the reason why is this process hides version information from a potential attacker. And the reason the version information is important is because when a weakness is found in any particular version, they will release an update and it will fix it. So if a hacker comes to your site and sees that you're using an old version of something and they know that there's a hack for that, they will go and they'll exploit that and then get into your site. If they can't see your version information, they'll either have to try everything or they'll move on to greener pastures. So since it's not really required, at least not by Google, and I assume the other major search engines will go ahead and do that. Remove the WLW manifest header. Now that removes the Windows Live Writer header. This is not needed if you do not use Windows Live Writer or other blogging clients that rely on that file, and I don't. I would say if you're not sure if your blogging client relies on that file or not, then I would remove it and try it, because you can always go back and change it. At least I'm pretty sure you can with that. I don't think it... Well, that's where your backup comes in. You did make your backup, right? Remove the edit URL header. Removes the RSD, really simple discovery header. If you don't integrate your blog with an external XML RPC service such as Flickr, then the RSD function is pretty much useless to you. And again, I don't. So I'll save changes. Now I'm going to spare you from walking through all the changes. I'm going to scroll through and look at a few here. User with ID 1 still exists. That one we definitely want to change. That would be me, by the way. I'm the user. Guilty as charged. Now you see we're at a different tab because what we were doing before were tweaks, and that was over here. Congratulations, you do not have a user named admin in your WordPress installation. Now, if you watched my installing WordPress video, I told you that having an admin as a username was a really bad idea because it's one of the first things people guess when they're trying to hack your system. Doesn't mean that they won't succeed, just makes it a little tougher. If your admin user has an ID of 1, it is vulnerable to some attacks, so we'll change the user ID. The thing I like about this is I don't have to come up with an ID, and I don't have to worry about it being someone else's. It takes care of it for me. Your table prefix should not be WP. Click here to rename it. So in your SQL database, which is where it stores all the information about your posts and your site and stuff, it's stuff you don't get into directly. Your table begins with WP underscore. And they want you to rename that because, again, it's just a predictable weakness that can be exploited. So we're going to change it. I've changed it for almost all of my sites long before I ever heard of this this plugin. So I'm not going to worry about backing up my database because I already did. And your current database table is this. Now, after the video, I'm going to change it again. Not that I don't trust you per se, but you don't know who's watching your stuff. You got to remember that if you're doing videos, it's not just your good friends you're talking to. It's anybody. So it's not you personally. It's just I don't know who's watching the video. So I'll change that later. In any case, back to the dashboard. See if there's anything else I really want to hit before I let you go. You're not scheduling regular backups. Your WordPress admin is available 24/7. Oh, that's a good one, though. So, if you do your WordPress updates, like usually you do it between 6 and 8 at night, for example, you can make it so that the other times of logging in as an administrator are restricted and people cannot do it. So you can enable away mode. And that was just a warning telling me to, do you want to, and make sure you check your local time to make sure that the time you're entering in matches the time on the server. Otherwise, you're putting in one time and the server is thinking it's another time, so you're actually blocking off a different time than you want. Makes no difference to me. I keep odd hours at this point, so I'm not going to actually do it. And a type of restriction, you can set it for every day or one time. So the nice thing about this is if you're going on vacation, you can put in your start and end dates that you're going to be gone, and the times as well. And that way you don't have to worry about it while you're on vacation. Let's see. Is there anything else I really want to? Hide your WordPress admin. Your HT access file is not secured. Your installation is not actively looking for change files, accepts long URLs. This can lead to vulnerabilities. Theme and plugin files. I think that's all the things that I really wanted to point out. I hope this video is helpful for you. Better WP Security is one of the most popular security plugins, so if you're not using something, I recommend it. On a site that is brand new, if you haven't set up your site, as soon as you get it installed, I would install this, set your options, and then install everything else. If you already have your site, then I go through and make your changes and test things one at a time. Bring up a second tab. In some of these options, bring up a second tab and make sure your site still works. After you make a change and save it, please click on the refresh. Anyway, I hope this video is helpful for you. Any questions, just let me know and I'll help you as best I can. Have a great day.